What's going on? So listen, I'm doing this video on how to find buyers. I've done a few videos on this before about how you can find vetted cash buyers by going to a foreclosure auction. Okay, so if you're looking for buyers, you might want to hit pause, get a pen and paper. I'm going to tell you some real examples. I mean, just kind of a step by step how you could actually find vetted cash buyers at the foreclosure auction. Okay. So listen, number one, before you can bid at a foreclosure auction, okay, foreclosure is the beneficiary, the bank kind of thing, the lender, if you will. Uh, they've exhausted every resource to try and get the loan current with the current borrower, and so they get the court involved, and they're going to foreclose on the property, and essentially exercise their what the deed of trust or mortgage kind of thing, allowing them to take the property back. Okay. So for somebody to be able to bid on that property, each state's different. Okay. And it doesn't matter what state it is. Most state, different kinds of scenarios. Most states, well, I don't know. I haven't been to most states. Okay. I've been to, I don't know, half of the states in the union. So some states, we'll just say some states, I'm going to be as, clear as possible, such as my state, you have before you can bid on a property, opening bid on a property. By the way, just time out. Banks, it's not an absolute. It's not like an absolute auction. Like okay, here's a free piece of it's $400,000 home, but what's first? Who's gonna what do you get? Offering $100. Who you bid $100 on? All right, Bob, with $200. That's they don't do that. The banks, they're clever enough not to have $1 million property. The opening bid is $50 on it. They're gonna have an opening bid of X. Okay, so let's say opening bid is $200,000. Okay, $300,000, whatever it is. Okay, before you can bid on that property, okay, at least in my state and other states as well, you have to prove to the auctioneer essentially you're liquid enough to buy that property. Okay, so you got to show proof of funds. It's not some proof of funds like you type on the internet or whatever you get from your bank. No, you can't even get it from your bank. I mean, you've got to show up with cashier's checks, for $200,000. And by the way, if you just a little timeout, if you're in this situation, like, well, really, that's how it works. I love to bid on some of these things. Great. My recommendation to you though is opening bid is $200,000. Don't show up with a cashier's check for $200,000 because the bid goes to 210, 220, and all you got $200,000. You can't bid anymore. You're snookered. You gotta be liquid. So what we do is opening bid is 200 grand, so you have a $200,000 cashier's check, and you want to do increments of say 10 grand. So you have a $200,000 cashier's check and five or $10,000 cashier's checks, right? Because what happens is, let's say your buyer buys it for 250, and they've got all they have $260,000 cashier's checks. The auctioneer they'll say, we'll take your money, we'll take 260, and we'll refund you the 10 grand in a month, 45 days. So you're out 10 grand. So screws your liquidity up. Anyway, I digress. Here's the point. These guys showing up with cashier's checks, okay? If you're a wholesaler, they're the real deal. Okay. So what you want to do, okay, is you want to go show up at the auction. You don't have to like register, all that stuff. Obviously you don't have that kind of, not that kind of liquidity. But you want to start talking to these people and ask them, just introduce yourself. Okay. Get out of the shell if you're an extrovert. You're like, I'm not interested. But listen, the point is you want to talk to these sellers, okay, and get to know them. Hey, I see you're here bidding on properties. Look at that. And then I would exhort you before the auction, just take a look at the houses. Google, put on Zillow or whatever. Look at the houses. Which houses they're bidding on. Greenhouse, blue house, pink, whatever, brick house, et cetera, et cetera. And so then when you're talking to these guys, hey, I looked at that house, kind of thing. And what do you plan on doing with it? It sounds exciting. What's your business model? And get to know them, right? As opposed to, hey, here's my business card. Here I'm a wholesaler. See what I'm saying? Like they're bidding on properties, ask them what they're doing, what their plan is, and you know what turns out? Most likely they'll tell you. Okay, yeah, the Senate brick house there on Birch Street is fantastic property. Needs a little TLC. You know, actually, it needs a lot of work. There's some mold in that thing, but man, that's got potential. You know, we're gonna blow out the basement. They'll have egress windows. We're gonna put a 2 or 3 egress windows in there. Add, you know, turn it into a 4-3, a 4-2 kind of thing. Whatever it is, okay. Hey, we're gonna actually add a shop back there. We're gonna split the lot. I mean, this thing's half an acre long. We can put another, you know, property, whatever it is. Does that make sense? Okay. So you get to know what they're looking for, and then you know what they're going to do. They're going to tell you, and so then you take notes. That sounds really interesting. Wow, you know, I tell you what, I love to be able to give you some properties, and maybe some time when I can come look at whatever you're working on right now, and kind of really get to know the nitty gritty of what your cost per square foot is, or maybe what your cost for cabinets are, the egress windows, et cetera, so that if I have a deal, potentially I could we could partner together, and you might like be able to buy the assignment. You see what I'm saying? See what I just did? Building these relationships, and this is huge. This is, I think, one of the biggest problems wholesalers start out with. You want to make money, and you're doing all this research, and it's all about you and how much money you're going to make and all this kind of thing, and you're really not in touch with buyers. So when you actually do get a deal, with you get any buyers. Look, if you get to know what your buyers are looking for, you talk with them, you shake their hand, you meet their contractor, the septic pump guy. Yeah, that's right. It's a septic pump guy, or you know, window guy, or you know, concrete guy, whatever it is. Get to know what they're looking for. When you call them with a deal, they're gonna want to fund it because they know who you are and they know you know their business model. So I hope this helps. If you got a property that you're looking at, you're trying to figure out the numbers or whatever, or you just want me to, you know, put my brain about is this a deal or not, let me know. And we'll get on a Zoom call. Potentially we do some joint venture together. So I'll see you in the next video. Godspeed.